If you thought Savannah and Hina's attempt to take down Perogi was bad, just wait until you get a load of this guy. Let's go! I'm gonna be honest, I was trying to avoid doing this video, mainly because it wasn't getting a whole lot of traction and I didn't want to give it more attention than it probably needed. However, you know, Chud Logic did it, so I said, you know what, fuck it. Somebody sent me this video, considering some of you guys may have seen my Savannah and Hina video. If you haven't, I'll put a link in the description below. But apparently there's more people coming out of the woodwork trying to basically take down Perogi. What's with all these weirdos always coming out of the woodwork trying to get Perogi canceled? Like, I don't get it personally. The guy literally helps thousands of people who are being scammed by scammers. Like, as far as YouTube goes, that's pretty benevolent. Anyway, if you haven't seen the previous drama involving Perogi, click the link down below because this kind of has to do with that. So if you want to get caught up on the Perogi verse, click that link. Then come back to this video and then you'll be all caught up. I tell you, there's too much going on here. So we're going to sit down, we're going to watch this video, and I'm going to give you guys my feedback. And just like anybody on YouTube, I'm sure this guy's got tons of evidence to support his claims here. I'm sure he doesn't. All right, so here we are. This video is titled My Experience in Scammer Payback. I like how he says that like he was in Scammer Payback as opposed to being like a fan of Scammer Payback. And the guy goes by the name Collins. Not that that matters. I mean, that's a odd name, but just Collins is what he goes by, I guess. The video is actually unlisted now, but I know that it got posted on Reddit at some point. I don't know whether he unlisted it or what, but the cat's out of the bag, baby, so we're going to talk about it. And I think he actually re-uploaded this a second time. But anyway, let's hear what Collins has to say.
Hello, everyone. It has been a while since some of you have probably seen me or heard my voice, and some of you are meeting me for the very first time.
Yes, we are.
With everything going on, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make a video.
With everything going on, is there something I missed? I like to pride myself on being up to date on my Perogi lore, and if there's something I missed, I feel like I would know about it, right? Because a lot of people keep me in the loop. I know Perogi's back. He's doing his streaming again. He seems super healthy. We're all hoping for the best for him. Now, I just want to also go on the record and say I don't know Perogi personally. However, I do have a bit of a hinkling for bullshit arguments, and most of the people who seem to come forward about this poor guy all have really terrible arguments. So that's the only reason I'm doing this video. I'm not like Perogi's lawyer. Perogi doesn't hire me to come do these videos. It just seems like Perogi surrounds himself with some pretty horrible people. Let's just leave it at that. But like I said, I'm sure this guy's got tons of evidence, tons of proof. Let's hear him out.
Video of my experience, video of things that I know for certain, video of things I don't know for certain.
Oh, well, thank God for that. I'm going to make a video about things I don't know for certain. You'll fit right in on YouTube, Collins.
Because it is, even though it's 109 degrees here in Arizona, I gotta wear the orange hoodie. So my name is Dustin, and I was a member of Scammer Payback for a couple of years.
I thought you said that you were in Scammer Payback. Were you a member of Scammer Payback, or were you in Scammer Payback? See, because I would consider being in Scammer Payback as being someone who was actually like doing the ins and outs daily there. Like you were actually calling people up, getting numbers for Perogi. Like Hina was in Scammer Payback. She was a part of like the whole cog. But being a member of the Discord, I don't think actually puts you in Scammer Payback.
As far as I know, during a certain span, I was their second highest contributor. And I'll explain why that actually happened. It's kind of sad.
Maybe was it because you liked watching people get saved from being scammed? I mean, that would be like a good way of like going about it, in my opinion. Like it would be a good way to start off being like, you know, I contributed to Perogi because I thought what he was doing was like a good thing, right? Like I thought that him stopping people from being scammed by these people in other countries was a wonderful thing. That's why I contributed. But instead he just says, well, it's really sad. It's really sad why I gave him money.
But I'm just saying that not to brag or anything, but just so you kind of know my background. If any of y'all never had known me from Discord or anything, or if you joined later, earlier, I was Orange Hoodie Guy.
You know, guys, an Orange Hoodie Guy, you know? Come on, you know. If you know, you know.
That was what I was known as. It's what people called me.
Well, I'm sure he had a very prevalent role if he was known as the Orange Hoodie Guy. That doesn't really invoke a whole lot of confidence in me that this guy was a big player in Scammer Payback, that he was known as the Orange Hoodie Guy. They didn't even take time to get to know this poor guy's name.
So if I wasn't Dustin, if I wasn't Collins, I was Orange Hoodie. I found Scammer Payback during the middle of the pandemic. And I wasn't doing well, like at all. I am extroverted and working from home inside these walls by myself, for 8 hours a day, completely isolated from the world. It was not good for me.
Yeah, I feel like most of us during 2020 were just having the time of our lives. Well, actually, I'm sure some of you guys were when you were getting like big stacks of cash because you didn't have to work. Those people made out pretty good. But those of you who got to work from home probably had it pretty good as well, because you got to just kind of chill, watch your TV while you worked all day. Meanwhile, some of us had to still get up and go to work. I worked at Target during the pandemic. Let me tell you, that was not a fun time.
And I found Scammer Payback, and I found this group of people in this Discord at the time that we just all hung out. We'd play games. We'd do drinking games. We would play Among Us. We would just talk and have a great time and have fun. And it was a bunch of people.
Is there something I'm missing about Discord? Is there a lot of people who just go and get like wasted by themselves on Discord? Now, I guess I can understand during the pandemic. I'll cut Collins a little bit of a break here, but like it seems like there's like a habitual drinking thing going on in Perogi circles, which Perogi being an alcoholic at the time, I guess makes a lot of sense, right? I'm interested to see where this goes from here.
Trying to figure out how to handle the pandemic in probably the most unhealthy, codependent way possible. The fact that my liver still functions is a miracle, because man, it can be a testament. I went through a lot of alcohol.
Seems like Hina was saying the same thing, that like she doesn't drink a lot, and all of a sudden like she was drinking. So it just seems like everybody in that Discord was drinking at the time. But anyway, I'm sure that can't be it, right? There's got to be a lot. There's got to be some real wingdingers in here.
And so did a lot of us. During that time, though, I became very close with Charlie. At the time, C. Jones, who was well known.
Yeah, Charlie C. Jones, guys, come on, you know him. Everybody knows Charlie C. Jones.
And Perogi.
The man of the hour, the monster, if you will.
One of the few people that willingly knew his full information, which I still won't divulge, and knew his child. Like, he is so protective of his son, at least back then. I don't know where it is now.
I don't understand what he's trying to say. So he's trying to say that he knew Perogi's kid? Is that what he's trying to say? Like, I knew Perogi's child? And I like how he adds, like, I could dox him, but I'm not going to dox him, because that would probably get you banned from YouTube, Collins, and make you look like a real bad dude, if you get what I'm saying. I guess maybe he's trying to just validate his relationship with Perogi. But again, like, if he doesn't have a single hint of evidence to back any of this up, this is all just hearsay. This is just this guy just ranting about Perogi. Like, I could sit here, tell you a whole story about how me and Perogi went out partying one night, and like all this crazy stuff happened, and I could just be recapping the story of The Hangover, but you'll just have to take my word for it, right?
That I was able to like look and watch, like see him like live on video, like privately. He'd have conversations with my wife privately, just thanking for everything that it did.
was Perogi risen up his wife? Is this what this video is about? My wife left me for Perogi. But Perogi ended up getting back with his own wife. That's what this is all about. Perogi's a homewrecker. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Let's hear him out. I'm sure it's going to get good, guys.
I helped do things on the back end, like getting certain websites shut down with the company that I work for.
Oh, see, now, if you're doing actual things in Scammer Payback, then maybe you could consider yourself to be in Scammer Payback. I feel like this guy morally was more invested in Scammer Payback than Scammer Payback was actually invested in him. Like, at least with Hina was like constantly like doing translations for Perogi, and she has Discord messages between the two. But if you're just gonna like ask us just to trust you on this, bro, I mean, we're gonna need something. Like, we can't just hear you out, take everything you say as facts, and then be like, okay, well, you know, we got it. Signed, sealed, delivered. You need something to bring to the argument. Some piece of evidence. As flawed as Hina's argument was, at least she had some evidence to be like, yes, this is what we did. Now, granted, her narrative was incredibly poor, but like at least what went on between her and Perogi was like backed by screenshots and stuff like that. And that also begs the question, like, why all of a sudden is all these people coming after Perogi now? I wonder if there's like scammers involved in this. Like, a lot of people pointed out in my last video that, you know, Perogi costs scammers a lot of money, so it would make sense for scammers to try to get people who knew Perogi to try to turn on him, to try to get his empire taken down. Scammer Payback has an empire, believe it or not. Like, he's got a lot of followers, and he does a lot of good, and he costs a lot of bad people a lot of money.
And overall, we grew close. But also during this time, my marriage was suffering, and I'm going to be open and honest about that. And
well, maybe if you're on Discord all the time instead of spending time with your wife, also sending your wife to go spend time with Perogi, I guess I could see how your marriage would suffer a little bit, you know? Not to mention you're getting drunk all the time.
This is part of the reason I never made a video before, and this video is unlisted. You can share it if you want, but this isn't for clicks.
Why post it and unlist it if you don't want people to see it? It makes no sense to me that you would post this video basically trying to damage Perogi's reputation, but then unlist it. Somebody posted it to Reddit, which is where it got its original attraction, but it just begs the question, like, why post it at all? Like, if you were gonna make a video, just like a video journal or video diary or something for yourself or for like people in a close circle, just message it to them. But no, you posted it on YouTube, man. That's fair game, bruh. That's fair game.
My marriage suffered a lot during that time, and so this isn't necessarily something I wanted out on the internet. But at the same time, now that more people are figuring out maybe what was going on behind the scenes, I think it's good to know it and to share it.
Oh, so we're gonna probably learn some real good stuff here. If there was a lot going on behind the scenes, I hope he's not just talking about Hina, because that was a whole nothing burger right there. Yes, did Perogi make some mistakes? Of course. Was Perogi also an alcoholic at the time? Yes. That doesn't mean any of the claims that Savannah made against him especially hold true at all. Sorry, Collins, I paused on a real bad picture of your face. I apologize for that.
In my perspective, I'm a flirtatious guy. Anyone that's known me will admit to that. And
except your wife. Oh, burn. I'm just kidding. I'm curious how this has to do with the video. This video is supposed to be about your time in Scammer Payback, but so far all you've done is talk about yourself. Things that make you go, And
there was usually certain lines I would not cross, but at times when you're drinking enough, flirtation is flirtation. So
I guess we figured out where the marital problems came from. It sounds like he was dipping his pen in the company ink, if you get what I'm saying, except the company ink was probably some girls in that Discord.
I'm going to be real and honest. I can't necessarily judge Perogi because of that, because I was suffering. I was just trying to find a way to survive, and I think secretly he was also. To an extent, I think there should be some grace for that, with an asterisk there, which I'll explain why in a minute.
Okay, so essentially he just said, I made a lot of mistakes. Perogi made a lot of mistakes. I don't blame him for his mistakes. I don't blame myself for my mistakes. We were all drunk. We were all doing debauchery stuff. However, Perogi gets an asterisk. Why does he get an asterisk, but you don't get an asterisk?
What I realized at a certain point is, I don't know how much of a real friend he actually was with me.
He wasn't your friend. He's a creator in your Discord, and you were a fan of the channel, right? Like, it's different than like someone like me, right? I would consider people in my Discord my friends, right? But I'm a small YouTube channel, and there's probably only a handful of people in my Discord. So like, I talk to them a lot more because I'm not like some big streamer, right? Perogi has 7 million subscribers. And the fact that Perogi was taking time out of his day to go hang out with these people in his Discord to be supportive and be grateful to them for being in his Discord should say more about Perogi than anything else.
Because there is a part where I think I got to see the real Perogi, and I got to know him on a real level. But then there were other times that like I just became a caricature. I was almost like the Jester of Scammer Payback.
I don't get it. He's saying, I got to see the real Perogi, then immediately starts talking about himself again. Who is the real Perogi? That's what we all want to know. That's why we tuned into this video, dude. Like, you're literally talking about yourself this whole time. Nobody's like out there wondering, boy, I wonder what's going on with Orange Hoodie Guy these days.
Like, and I had to keep up that personality as well. Like, if I wasn't doing shots or laughing or making jokes or being a goof, like I was getting called out in front of everyone for it, like in our Discord chats. Like it's the reality. I was.
But was that by Perogi or was that by other people in the chat? And also, like, are you not in control of yourself? Like, if your insecurities led to you making bad decisions, then that's on nobody but you. Yeah, should those other people have been like pushing him? No. It's like tales all this time, right? The guy who's an alcoholic goes to hang out with his friends and the guy's like, you're not drinking? Well, come on, have a beer with me. He's like, I can't drink. Nah, come on, have a beer. No, seriously, I can't drink. Because you know what happens when you drink, right? You end up relapsing if you're an alcoholic. This guy seems to be a grown-ass man who could clearly make decisions for himself. If he's blaming everybody else for his mistakes, then that's not their fault. That's his fault, right? Be a man. Stick up for yourself.
I had to be constantly putting on, like, it's basically like I was a streamer having to put on a show for, for the people.
Says who, though? You? Just because you felt that way doesn't mean that that is the way it was. That doesn't mean that Perogi was behind you with a whip and a lasso being like, dance, monkey, dance. This is all things that you felt you had to do. These aren't things you did because someone made you do them. These are things that you chose to do because you thought that's what would make you liked by these people. You get what I'm saying? You get the difference between the two there?
And thankfully, it was Charlie and C. Jones that pulled me out of that and kind of slapped me upside the face and said, stop doing that. It's not healthy. But that's when I first started realizing that maybe Perogi wasn't being as genuine as I thought.
So far, not one mention of Perogi being the one who's forcing this guy to do these things has been said at all. And definitely no proof behind it as well. This guy said that people were calling him out in the Discord for not taking shots and stuff, which all he had to do was be a man and be like, yeah, you know what? I don't feel like drinking tonight. End of story. Done. Same thing with Hina, right? At any time, Hina could have walked away from Perogi and be like, you know what? I don't feel like sexting tonight. Bam, done. But instead, you end up doing these things and making these mistakes and then blaming the people who were around for it, for your behavior. That's like going out to the bar, getting blacked out drunk, and then blaming your friends for not stopping you from taking the 9th or 10th shot.
You know, he'd always tell me it's not about the money, it's not about the donations, but every time I donated, and I'm going to be real with you guys, I donated because I agreed with what he was doing, but I also donated because it got me an in to where I didn't feel depressed.
Oh, wait, you're telling me that the guy who runs a YouTube channel that is used to fund his life was being nicer to you because you were donating than he was to people who weren't donating? Mind blower right there.
Because I saw the impact it was having on people to even make other people excited about it. To have Gypsy and Night Maiden posting stuff in Discord, for me and Charlie to have these donation battles back and forth before I knew Charlie had a lot more money than me. That's a fun story.
Yeah, why? Let's hear it then. Like, if it's a fun story, tell us. This is driving me insane right now, right? Because how many times has he dangled a carrot out about something he knows about Perogi just to reel it back in and then talk about himself some more? I feel like he's using Perogi to make himself feel more important. And in reality, Perogi has nothing to do with any of this. This is just this guy venting. It sounds like this guy is like regretful of all the money that he donated to Perogi because he thought that Perogi was going to be his friend. He was going to buy his friendship with Perogi in a parasocial relationship, mind you, and then it didn't turn out the way he wanted it to, or the way he thought it would be. And now here he is feeling regret, so he's going to try and take Perogi down because of it.
But I was all part of that. But the one side I will defend Perogi on is everyone was toxic during that time.
All right, now we're defending Perogi. This guy is everywhere. He's here, he's there. Well, you know what? I saw the real side of Perogi when I did those 10 shots. Oh man, that was a good time. And when I gave him all my life savings, I saw the real side of Perogi, I tell you. And then I cheated on my wife with somebody on Discord. But yeah, the real Perogi, I'll tell you about him in a minute when I took my shirt off to entertain everybody in the Discord. But boy, wait until I get to Perogi. You just wait. I was a raging alcoholic. In fact, we were all raging alcoholics during that time. But that's essentially what this guy's doing right now. Get to the point, Collins.
What I will say, though, however, when I started getting my red flags, and some of these red flags happened after the Hina video, was he was saying crap about me behind my back, warning people that I was bad and to not talk to them.
We're only 6 minutes and 28 seconds into the video, and we finally get our first, well, I can't call it evidence because this is just hearsay, but our first at least nugget of something that Perogi did that upset him. He's bad to talk to and people should avoid him.
Because I just was trying to use them, right? And yeah, I was, but it was mutual use. Like, there... It's
like... Perogi went out of his way to tell people I was trying to use them, which I was, but come on, they were trying to use me too. What the? I won't, like, at least I give this guy credit, he's being honest, but like, it's like, you know what, like, Perogi's doing his fans is solid. He was like, he went out of his way to be like, yo, be careful, that guy, he might be bad news, and the guy's like, yeah, it was fucking bad news, but you know what, Perogi shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have said that about me.
Everyone knew I was married. Everyone knew that I was struggling with stuff.
Okay. I think I know what's going on here. I think this guy was probably getting a little frisky with the ladies or giving them a little unwanted attention, if you get what I'm saying. And Perogi, being the king of the castle, probably like, yo, this dude, be careful. If he hits you up and tries to show you his wang, just let me know. We'll get him kicked out of the Discord. Like, that's all signs are pointing to that. You know, I'm not saying that happened. I have no more evidence of that this guy has that Perogi did anything that he's claiming Perogi did, which so far is just saying, watch out for this guy. He might use you. To which he's already admitted that he does. I was doing this to use people. He already said he was giving Perogi donations to try to get in with Perogi.
That was no secret. I didn't hide it. But behind the scenes, what Perogi was doing is Perogi was actually playing people against each other. He was playing the mods against certain people or certain channels, and then he was playing people against the mods.
All right, guys, just keep an eye out on this guy. He's been a known wang shower. He's been a known dick picker. If anybody comes to complain about him, just let me know. Try to keep an eye on him. And this guy's like, you know what? Perogi stopped me from being able to send my wang to whoever I wanted to send my wang to. And I just have a big problem with that. That's when I really saw the real Perogi. I was like, Perogi, I gave you like $300. Why can't I go show Karen my freaking wang in the Discord? This is anybody else hearing this? Like, this is essentially what I'm hearing when he's talking. I swear, dude.
Period of time when I was putting out like these little like unlisted funny YouTube videos just to be like, hey, good morning, everybody. Like, not like literally unlisted private, unless like I'm not trying to make a YouTube channel.
You're doing it right now. You were on your YouTube channel watching your video where you're trying to out Perogi. Yeah, you unlisted it, but I'm pretty sure this guy posted a second video of the first video here where he was like, well, you know what? My video got posted on Reddit. So, here's the video and it's full.
And he was laughing about it to my face and being like, that's so funny, yada, 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 everything else. Then all of a sudden I'm told I need to stop pushing those out because I'm promoting something.
Pretty regular, right? If it's Perogi's Discord and you're posting other people's YouTube channel, why can't Perogi just be like, we want to maintain the focus on Scammer Payback. That's what this Discord's about. You know, I'd rather you not promote other people's YouTube channels in my Discord. Like, does Perogi not have a right to do that? It's his Discord.
And he's telling me it's the mods telling him to do that. And then I come to find out some of the mods got those direct directions from Perogi to tell me to stop doing that.
It seems like the mods agreed because they told you, right? And they work for Perogi. It seems like this guy's just salty, right? I paid you a lot of money. I should get special privilege in the Discord. And I definitely want to be able to show my wang when I want.
Because maybe he was afraid people were liking me more. That's completely just, I don't know the answer to that.
Everybody came for Perogi's Scammer Payback calls, the multi-million-dollar YouTuber, but they stayed for the orange hoodie guy. Perogi was very threatened by Orange Hoodie and his massive dick showing. I think Perogi was just afraid that I was going to steal all his fans. All 7 million of them.
Like, I don't, because I wasn't using him for financial gain or anything. I don't know the answer.
Like, I'm so confused at what's going on here. Like, were you posting your own YouTube videos? Because, yeah, if that's the case, like, I can't go into Chud Logic's Discord channel and be like, yo, guys, check out my latest video. It's Chud Logic's Discord. If everybody just starts blowing up Discord with all their own YouTube videos, then the whole reason they're in that Discord is going to get lost. The people who came there for the Scammer Payback material.
But I do know, and I've seen the DMs for it since then.
Well, then where are they, bro? That's what we want to see. Like, you ask us to believe you, but you don't have any shred of evidence.
That, and it was since the Hina video came out, he was completely saying one thing to me about one set of people, and to the other set of people, he was playing different things to me. He was playing us against each other for control.
Well, then I ask you, how do you know that the other people weren't just lying to you? And then he really did say that. This is just he said, she said, or he said, he said. The same thing with Hina, right? The only difference between this and Hina is that Hina had like actual like text messages and stuff. Yeah, the narrative was complete bullshit. But at the same time, though, at least Hina had something to be like, yeah, you know what? We'll throw out the evidence and I'll try to twist the narrative a little bit. But at least I have proof that I knew Perogi. You know, that gives her a place to at least start at. We're all just taking your word for it.
Because he ultimately wanted that control, right? And with some of the stuff financially, I can't speak to where the donations went. I don't know completely.
I don't know, maybe his life, maybe his family, maybe his kids. Like, you donated it to him. He can do whatever he wants with it, dude. Like, it's his channel. As long as he gets up and he scam baits, which is what people are paying him for, who cares where the money goes? You gave it to him.
But what I can speak to with complete confidence is the way that he manipulated and treated his mods.
Take my word for it, guys. Trust me.
How he behaved towards other women.
We know that, right? You know, yeah, he's flirty. Plus, you already admitted that you were super flirty with girls in the Discord too, right? Now, what's the difference between you and Perogi? It's Perogi's Discord, and they're his fans, as where you're just some guy in there hitting on his fans. Like, you think Guns N' Roses would be okay with their groupies getting hit on by some guy who's not in a band? I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't make it right, but the difference between this guy wanted all the same rights as Perogi does, but it's not his channel. He didn't do all the work Perogi did to get to where he is.
And there is a difference between just trying to survive and being open and honest and using your authority and power to do it.
Again, just hearsay. Like, there's nothing you could say that would make us believe this because we're just taking your word for it. Like, that'd be like me being like, yeah, I'm worth like a couple $1 million. Just trust me, man. Like, how stupid does this guy think people are?
Both are wrong, right? But at least be transparent about it. With Hina specifically, I want to fill y'all in with what was going on with the Hina.
Now, hopefully you guys went. If you haven't seen the Hina video, it's a doozy. You got to go check it out before you watch this. But for everybody who did watch it and now you're here, hopefully you see just how ridiculous that whole situation was. Can't wait to hear him comment on this.
We started, when I say we, I mean mods in the inner circle. We started to have some red flags about.
Wait, now this guy's a mod? Did he say he was a member? Now he's a mod? Like, what is it? Pick one, bro. And if you were a mod and you were showing your wedding to people, then you shouldn't be a mod. Listen, here's the thing, like a lot of people don't understand, right? When you're running a Discord, right, the people who you select to be your mods are an extension of you. Therefore, if those mods are doing bad things under your name, then you can't have those people as mods. And it sounded like this guy was doing a bunch of like scummy shit. And I guess he bought his way into being a mod by donating. But it just seems like this guy is just kind of like a sleazebag. Because
there were some things that were being said that we were finding discrepancies in. And our concern was if Hina needed stuff, we wanted her to get help. It wasn't a matter of us not liking her or us not wanting around. It was the emotional impact she was having on members of the Discord was not healthy for anyone involved.
That's just a fancy way of saying being like, she wasn't good for us. We didn't hate her. We just didn't want her there. Like, dude, you are like all over the goddamn place.
It wasn't something that members of the Discord could actually fix or were trained to handle. I mean, at the same time, it wasn't healthy for her to be getting support from there.
Like what? But what though? You didn't tell us anything about what was going on with her. Oh, you know, there was so much going on with Hina. We can't tell you anything that was going on with her, but trust me, we weren't trained to handle it. We weren't trained to do this, but God knows we just didn't want that bitch there.
So there was a collective decision made by some that she was to basically be removed.
By some? Was that Perogi? Because at the end of the day, it's his Discord, his call.
Just for...
Like, if you think that the mods are going to be able to kick someone out of Perogi's Discord when Perogi wants that person there, you're crazy, right? The mods just don't have that ability. They could go to Perogi and say, hey, listen, you know, this is probably not a good idea to keep this chick in here. She causes all kinds of havoc. It's up to Perogi to decide, okay, well, whether or not we keep her is up to him. But if he's like, you know what? No, I like Hina. She does a lot of work for us. We got to keep her. Then there's nothing you can say about it. It's not your Discord. It's not Orange Hoodie Guys Payback. It's Scammer Payback. It's Perogi.
The health of everyone involved. Because there were some serious dark accusations going on, like were happening in her country, not involving Perogi or members or anything like that.
So wait, there was stuff going on in her country. You guys wanted to kick her out, and we had to get her to go because she was telling us like how rough it was where she's living. So we needed to kick her ass out. She can't be here, man. Her country's at war. We can't handle that shit.
There was some serious stuff going on, and if that stuff was true, she needed the right help. And relying on us as a crutch was not going to be a benefit.
If there's one thing we know about Hina, right, she doesn't twist narratives or tell stories, right? Like, we all know that Hina's as trustworthy as it gets.
Well, after that was done, she secretly got invited back
Please say bye, Perogi. Please say bye, Perogi, and then have a problem with it.
And then she was completely used, basically as a catfish, as bait.
The way Hina told the story was that that's how she got in with Perogi, was to be used as catfish bait, right? That's how her initial introduction to Perogi took place. So this guy's saying that Hina was in the Discord before that. This is all not making any sense at all.
And that made a lot of us angry.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't hate the girl. Now all of a sudden you were mad that she's back? Or are you mad that she jumped you because she was a cute chick and you're just orange hoodie guy who was showing your way to people in the messages? Allegedly.
Because especially with her history and past, you don't put someone that has at least some sort of sexual trauma, you don't put them on the front line to be sex bait for scammers.
Was Perogi aware of this, though? You never said whether or not Perogi was aware of this, right? You said those who shall not be named made the decision to kick her, and then the decision was made to bring her back. What the hell are you talking about, dude? There's nothing you're saying here that has any kind of credibility. If you're trying to insinuate that the Perogi was the one behind putting her up into all this terrible situations, basically he's insinuating that Perogi was the one who had the idea to use Hina as a thirst trap. However, in Hina's own words in Savannah's video, Hina was the one who volunteered to be a thirst trap on behalf of Perogi. Now, this guy's saying that, this guy's trying to hint at the idea that it was Perogi's idea to put Hina as the thirst trap, when we all know that Hina already came forward and said that it was her idea to be the thirst trap and that she could thirst trap well, I believe the quote was. This guy's full of shit. We're not all the way through the video yet, but I'm ready. I'm going to sum it up, and I'm going to sum it up easily. This guy developed a parasocial relationship with Perogi, thought that he was more valuable to Perogi than he actually was. Perogi liked having him around because he gave a lot of money to the channel, like one does, like any business does if you donate. Look at a university, right? Those who donate the most money to the university usually get like a gym or something named after them, right? Where they get a statue, or they get to call shots on the university. It's just like an investor in a company. They get more shares. This guy's upset that Hina jumped him in the totem pole because Hina was a pretty girl and he just was a guy who had an alcoholic problem, a bad marriage, and felt like he was very lonely, I guess. I don't fucking know. I mean, I feel bad for this guy because this guy is the type of dude who goes around and blames everybody else for his problems and doesn't accept any responsibility, just like Hina, right? Although at least Hina in Savannah's video took a little bit of responsibility for what happened between her and Perogi.
It's just wrong.
Okay, it was Hina's idea then. Tell her. It wasn't Perogi. I believe that we could go back into the Scammer Payback video and listen from Hina in her own words saying it was her idea to be used as a thirst trap.
So I volunteered to help him get information on the scammer. Essentially, I thirst trapped a scammer boss for a video.
So I don't know what you're saying here, Collins. This makes zero sense, dude.
Like, it's literally, it's not the right thing to do.
So I volunteered to help him get information on the scammer. Essentially, I thirst trapped a scammer boss for a video.
Then tell the girl who was the one who volunteered for it, dude. Not Perogi. It wasn't his fault.
And we got...
Perogi, you should start paying me for your defense, though. I'm just saying, like, he doesn't even know who I am. He has no idea I exist on this world. But, like, these people who are coming after this guy have the absolute worst takes in the world, dude. If you have figured out one single claim of substance so far, please let me know in the comments because I'm not getting it myself. This guy seems like he's like a beta male who wishes that he could have half of the charisma as Perogi, a quarter of the success, and like 1% of the chicks.
Got upset about that. And that led to a lot of confrontation and a lot of pushback and a lot of like back and forth, like, why are you doing this?
Between who? Between you and Perogi, Hina and Perogi, Perogi and Hina, you and Perogi, Perogi and other mods? Like, what the are you talking about, bro?
And I was aware of all this at the time.
And all of you Reddit people who swear that this guy's like some kind of savior for coming forward with this shit, you are just as bad because this guy hasn't offered a shred of evidence, and you were all celebrating him like he's some kind of hero for coming forward. He's just talking about it. And with zero proof. You just want so desperately to believe in something, to hate Perogi, that you'll listen to anybody. And I feel sorry for you. I really do. That you could be so easily manipulated by this guy.
And I kept it quiet. I was hearing stuff from certain mods, and
this guy should have never made this video. This guy should delete this video, because all he's doing is making himself look foolish, making everybody else look foolish. Hina already looked foolish before this video. Now she looks even more foolish. Because trust me, if you scroll down on this video, Dictionary put a heart as in support. And in case you didn't know, Dictionary is Hina. So Hina's behind this guy coming forward. I wouldn't be surprised if she had something to do with this guy speaking out. And again, I didn't even want to bring this up. If it wasn't for Chud Logic doing this video and me being like, you know, the Perogi guy I am that just kind of has my thumb on the pulse of like that situation, I felt like I needed to comment on this stuff. But this guy is this guy is full of shit. Could he be telling the truth? Maybe, but he hasn't given us a single thing to back that up. And on top of that, Hina's own words go against this guy's implications that Perogi was the one whose idea it was to put Hina up as a thirst trap.
Complete like privacy and confidence, and I wasn't going to be the one to spill it. It wasn't my place.
Then why are you talking about it now, dude? Why are you talking about it right now? If it's not your place to get involved, why is it your place to get involved now? Who was this video made for? You unlisted it. Was that like your sad attempt at trying to be like, listen, I ain't trying to be no shit starter, so I enlisted it.
But he was completely using Hina. And then...
Bro, you said earlier in the video you were using people too. And Hina was using him. I have it on good authority. I can't name names, I know, and I'm being no better than this guy, but I have it on good authority that Hina was trying to convince Perogi to fly her out to America so that she could live here. And that is the whole reason why Hina and Perogi had a falling out. I know, breaking news, guys, breaking news, ding, ding, ding. I have it on good authority. I have a source close to that whole situation, and the whole reason it fell apart wasn't because Perogi was being gross or anything like that. It was because, obviously, Perogi didn't want to fly out his mistress to America, where he had a wife that he loved. And Hina took that the bad way. Hina, if you're watching, you know it's true, hon. You know it's true. If not, come on live. We'll talk about it live in front of everybody. We can even bring Orange Hoodie Guy, because I feel like I could destroy you both in a debate about this whole situation.
I come to find out from other people that he was DMing them as well, sexually explicit messages and everything else. And here's my issue with it. I'm not going to be a pot calling the kettle black.
AKA, I was sexually suggesting myself to other people as well. I was sliding in people's DM. I slid inside Hina's DM and told her I wanted to see the pink buddy get to work, but she told me no. She told me get lost. See, that's why this guy's covering his tracks, because he knows that everybody in that Discord who is still friends with Perogi would probably come back and be like, listen, this dude, the reason he got kicked out was he was just being too creepy on the girls in there, and we had to get rid of him. Guarantee you that's why he got kicked out of the Discord, because he was being too creepy to the pretty girls that were fans of Perogi. I would bet money that that's the case why he got kicked out. And now he's salty balls, and there's a whole group of people who've gotten kicked out of Perogi's Discord, all forming together now to try to attack him. Not on my watch. Not that I care. I mean, I like Scammer Payback, and I'm Lord knows I don't really know Perogi that well. Like, if you're gonna come out with something like this, have some freaking class, bro. Have some evidence. Organize your thoughts. Write bullet points. Get some evidence together. Ask people who are still in the Discord, hey, do you still got access to these messages? Don't just make us ask you to take your word for it, dude. Trust me, bro.
Right? Like, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I was doing the same thing.
I was sending my dick to anybody who wanted to see it.
The difference was, I found out, was he was actually...
The only reason I got kicked out was they were fine with me showing my dick, but the minute I showed my butthole, that's why everybody had a problem.
Making them scared of me to trust me and saying I just was trying to use them.
You were! If you were sliding in a chick's DM trying to get her to send you nudes, bro, you were using them. Point blank. Period. You're no better than the guy you're accusing. Except the only difference is he went and fixed his life. He went and did something about it to try to be better. You're coming out and blaming everybody else for all the bad choices you made.
I just was trying to exploit them. I was just trying to do all these things.
You were. You just admitted it. Dude, Jesus Christ. This guy is mentally unwell. This guy is mentally unwell. I mean, you have to be if you're wearing an orange hoodie and you think that like that's like some kind of like flex on everybody that you got your orange hoodie on, right? Because they didn't take time to learn your name and you were just known as the orange hoodie guy. Oh yeah, I was a big player. They didn't even take time to learn my name, but they knew me by the hoodie I wore because I never washed this thing. It's the only piece of clothing I own. In all honesty, I do feel bad for this guy. Like, I do feel like this guy is just kind of like super beta male, like very, very sad, doesn't have a whole lot going for him. He desperately needs this. He needs a W, and he's taking a chance here on jumping on the Hina bandwagon. He saw how much attention Hina got. Why not me? I'll tell you why. Because Hina's shit was funny, right? And Hina's crazy, but at least she's hot, so she has that going for her. Like, if Hina started an OnlyFans, she'd probably be okay. I don't think anybody wants to see your OnlyFans, though, Orange Buddy guy. I mean, Orange Hoodie guy. If you guys know who Pink Buddy is, you know what that reference was.
And meanwhile, to me, he's telling me, hey, stay away from that person. If I was you, I wouldn't DM them.
Yeah, because he's going to show you his dick. He's going to ask to see your dick. Like, this is exactly what this guy's going to do. He just admitted himself. Like, I'm super flirty, except the only difference is Perogi's a good-looking guy, and I haven't washed his hoodie in weeks. And I'm married, and my wife and I are fighting. I mean, Perogi was married too, but at least he's like a rock star in that community, you know? This guy's just somebody riding off of Perogi's dick.
I wouldn't have a conversation with them. Hey, that's like, you're making people uncomfortable. And I'll be very transparent in a conversation I had with Hina. She even flat out said, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you because you at least were always honest with your struggles.
Two people who were exiled from the Scammer Payback community coming together to try and take down Perogi. Well, why? Because one had an extramarital affair where Perogi decided to stick with his wife instead of his mistress. And Hina's upset about that. And this guy who just couldn't get no ass either way. Listen, dude, maybe you got a chance with Hina. I'd probably say not, but you know, you never know. You've probably been pretty lonely since Perogi.
And so I'm just sharing that, like, I don't know.
Bro, this is a bad decision. I'm just going to say, look, and if you got a problem with me stopping so much, you're on the wrong channel. But this is my channel. I'm commenting on it, right? If you want to go watch this dude talk about this rando shit, like, by all means, go watch his video, but then come back and then hear what I have to say. But this is pathetic. This is a real pathetic case that he's making. Everything about this is stupid.
I guess this thing, I don't know how to put this in Discord, and I didn't, like, pre-write this or anything. But
yeah, no shit. No shit.
Based
all your thoughts are so organized.
on what I'm telling you, more questions that you have, I can go into more details.
Oh yeah, because if there's one thing I want, Collins, is to hear more about this story. I have a feeling this guy doesn't have a shred of evidence. And even if I were to question him, he'd fold like a sack of pancakes.
I guess I just want to throw the breadcrumbs out there a little bit, that in the same way I started to connect dots in certain ways, maybe you can connect dots in certain ways.
That's not how this works. You don't come out and throw a couple breadcrumbs and go, figure it out, guys. Here you go. Here's a couple breadcrumbs for you. Connect the dots for me. Because I can't. You know, you show your dick to a couple people in Discord and all of a sudden you're a scumbag. You don't make claims against someone without evidence. It's simple as that. You just don't do it. You can. I mean, it's YouTube. It's 2024. People make claims against people all the time that have zero facts to back it up. But if you want to be taken seriously, you'll bring some evidence.
Financially, like I said, I can't speak to that side of it. But he did abuse his position. But here's the thing. We were all guilty of it.
Well, then shut the fuck up. For real. What? It's his freaking server. He's the king of it. He started the damn thing. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I'm so sick of this argument. Savannah made the same thing. Well, he had all this power. Yeah, and guess what? Hina was a cute chick trying to use her looks to get into Perogi's good graces. Like, there's no difference between them. Hina used her assets to try to get Perogi's attention, which worked, and Perogi was using his sense of power to get a little nookie. Tale as old as time. This poor schmuck doesn't have anything. I got my orange hoodie, though. Always got that. And a liver that's gonna fail any day now.
Every single one of us. And if he was just ashamed of it and he just was trying to hide it, I would actually be standing right now saying give him grace.
He is! I don't know, has anybody heard Perogi address this at all? The closest thing we got was his wife saying, please just leave us be in our time of need, while Perogi goes and reflects and tries to become a better person. Which by all counts, he did. He did. He disappeared for a little while. He probably went, reset, decided what kind of man he wants to be moving forward, and now he's doing it. And here you are with your stupid orange hoodie trying to rehash shit that's already been buried. Let the man go. me being an addict 3.5 years ago when I decided to get clean, if somebody was like trying to bring up shit I did when I was there and I was that person, I'd slap them. Not really, I wouldn't slap them. Because I'm not that person anymore. I have nothing in common with that person I was when I was doing that shit. And this was like almost 6-7 months ago, and all of a sudden now you have all this stuff to say about it. And not only that, but you were only in the Discord for like a year or two. So this had to be like, all this probably took place about 2 years ago. Like, what are you going on about, dude? Like, shut up.
But he wasn't just ashamed of it, trying to hide it. He was actually trying to exploit it. And he was trying to belittle other people so he could have better control.
Like how, though? Give us an example. Give us one specific example.
Everything Perogi is doing is about control.
No shit, he's Scammer Payback, dude. That's like what his whole job is to call people who are used to taking advantage of others and take advantage of them. Kipoga does the same thing. So many people who are in the scam baiting community do that. That's the whole fun of it. But if you're trying to convince me that Perogi's treating his mods like he does scammers, I refuse to believe it. Is Perogi a man who makes mistakes? Of course he is. But did he choose to learn and get better because of it? Yes. I do not see the reason why you're coming forward with this stuff right now. It makes zero sense to me why you decided to make this video, other than to hurt Perogi, who clearly said himself that he had, what's the guy's biggest crime? Trying to be kind to you for a little while and you taking advantage of it. You clearly said that you were taking advantage of him, sliding in girls' DMs in the Discord. Do you think Perogi's just gonna let that shit slide? Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to make this long, but like this just really pisses me off because I see more and more people like this popping up left and right on YouTube, coming forward to try to take down creators with zero evidence, all because they're trying to make a name for themselves on standing on the shoulders of someone who's already made a name for themselves. I guarantee you this guy did some really sketchy shit in that Discord, and even though he was a top contributor, Perogi was like, sorry man, you gotta go. And this guy probably thought in his head, Perogi ain't gonna get rid of me. I give him so much money, I'm good with him. But at the end of the day, Perogi's got to look after his self and his business and his brand.
Controlling his members, it's about controlling his contributors, it's about controlling his mods.
Oh, it's almost like he runs the Discord.
When Brandon stepped in, who is his brother-in-law, there was major red flags about Brandon. A previous YouTube channel that he had, that got shut down and demonetized because it was geared towards kids, and there was like very suggestive sexual content being pushed out. They continued to get strikes from YouTube, and YouTube finally completely shut them down.
Oh, this would have been a perfect opportunity for you to pull a clip and show us. But do you? No, we're just supposed to take your word for it. You didn't even say the name of the channel.
And then he comes in and starts running Perogi's channel. I know for a fact, I literally remember having this conversation that I felt like I was a double agent because I knew what was actually going on. DMs had been shared with me. The mods channel had been shared with conversations that's having. Brandon is then pulling me in separately, or Perogi is pulling me in separately, and they are telling me things completely opposite from what I'm actually reading in the mod chat and what I'm seeing those interactions are.
Oh, yeah, because we know that your like take on all this stuff is so clean and crisp, and you're so organized in what you're reading and how to interpret things.
I'm seeing that completely separate. And so I knew they were full of it. And I experienced that firsthand because honestly, I was in a way playing both sides, but it was because I wasn't
away playing both sides. I was trying to play them against each other. The very same thing that I said Perogi was trying to do to me and the mods. He literally just admits it right there. Listen to him. Go back 5 seconds. Listen to him. He literally just said I was playing them both against each other. I'm telling you, dude, some of these people just need to keep their mouths shut. All right, you had a bad experience. You were friendly with someone. That doesn't mean everybody needs to come forward and tell their story, because trust me when I say this, orange hoodie guy, you are coming out of this looking 10 times worse than Perogi does.
We were still in the middle of the pandemic. I wasn't healthy. I didn't want my family to break apart, and this place became my family.
Okay, then why make this? Are we supposed to see that Perogi's some bad guy because you were acting like a schmuck?
And eventually I was forced out completely. I rejoined the Scammer Payback Discord.
Why? If you were having such a bad time in there, why did you come back? Oh my god. This is so stupid.
And ironically enough, my username, and I remember Night Maiden seemed almost shocked about it, at least that's how it came across, my username had actually been banned.
That's actually a pretty typical thing in Discord. One person gets that username, you can't reuse it. So I think what happened was this guy tried to come back under a different account and use his same name, but it was already taken by him, which was banned from the Discord.
But they knew it was me getting re-invited, and they let me be re-invited under a different Discord account.
They were giving you second chance to not slide into girls' DMs and show your wang or your butthole or whatever it was you were doing. However, you were creeping out these poor women. And you said it yourself. Like, this isn't me putting words in his mouth. This guy literally said, I'm very flirty by nature. I was going into girls' DMs and I knew they knew who I was married. It's all right there. Go back, watch the video again. This guy says it all himself. I don't need the proof. He said it himself.
Instead of just unbanning me, and I don't understand the pettiness in that. Literally even basically made it the exact same Discord name. Like, there was no hiding this is me. I wasn't trying to pull, like, you know, anything over the sheep's eyes or anything like that, right? Like, it was just me. People knew that.
I think this guy has a very higher vision of himself than how everybody in this Discord did. In this guy's opinion, he was God's gift to Scammer Payback's Discord.
But it was just, it was crazy. Then I realized I am like posting things, and suddenly I'm realizing stuff's immediately getting deleted. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm definitely not wanted here anymore.
And maybe you came back in and then somebody was like, yo, Perogi, dude, that's that guy that was this person here that you banned. And you were like, all right, well, let's see if we can, like, let's see if he'll behave himself. And then you probably went in there and started immediately shit posting again. And they were like, all right, well, this guy clearly couldn't learn his lesson. Like, it sounds like he was trying to throw you a bone and you didn't read that. You didn't get that and immediately start doing the same shit that got you kicked out in the first place.
So I deleted that Discord account and moved on. I honestly didn't think I'd have anything to do with Scammer Payback again. And then
yet here we are.
All this came out. And
nothing came out, by the way. Did Perogi like have a online text thing going on with one of the people in his Discord server? Yes. But was it anything more than that? No, right? It was nothing more than that. It was a guy who was an alcoholic and made some bad choices. That's it. You don't crucify the guy for that. And yet here you are with even less than Hina had. And she didn't have a lot. And here you are with even less.
Anyway.
But that doesn't stop these people from coming forward and trying to, like, ruin these people who spent their whole lives building these things. And not only that, but Perogi, again, remind you, does a good thing. He's helped more people than this guy will ever help in his life by showing his dick.
Those are the breadcrumbs.
Stupid.
Take them as you want and DM me specific questions because I can go into more details. I know this was hazy. It's because I wasn't planning on doing this. I didn't think
you probably shouldn't have, buddy. I'm gonna just warn you
to like write down all the interactions one by one. There's a lot more that I can go into, but I guess I just want to say, as someone that contributed a lot of money, someone that saw both sides of Perogi, if you want to still support him, that's your call.
Yes, you guys should still support him. If this is enough to get you to stop supporting Perogi, then I guarantee you're not somebody who he wants watching you anyway. Because this guy has given you nothing. If this is enough for you to turn your back on a guy who saves people and helps them out, then you're probably not a good person yourself. I'm just saying it, right? And that might give me a little flack in the comments. Guess what? I don't care. Because people like this need to stop doing this dumb shit. He would be better off taking his L and taking his ball and going home. But no, he wants to get back in the ring and now he's exposed.
Just realize what you're getting on the screen definitely is not the person that he is.
Listen, most YouTubers aren't. Do you think I'm like this all day, every day? Hell no. I give you guys my best for the time I'm on here. Most of the other time, if you guys catch me, I'm going to be like either playing a video game quietly or watching a movie and taking a nap. It's in far comparison to the guy you get when I'm on camera, right? Because that's what we do. When we're here to entertain. I mean, look at Kevin Spacey, for God's sakes. Guy won Academy Awards. Turns out to be a total creep, just like this guy.
And I think what's so frustrating is him and Brandon helped save my marriage.
Perogi saves this guy's marriage, and this is how he thanks him, by trying to narc on the guy and destroy his empire. Real good job. Way to go, Collins. You seem like a real stand-up dude.
Like Brandon specifically, and I'll be honest, I think Brandon's more toxic than Perogi.
But Brandon came through and saved my marriage. Instead of being eternally grateful, I want to make sure I let everybody know he's a real toxic piece of crap. Guess what? I guarantee you're the toxic one in this whole thing, bro.
At least, like, in interactions I've had one-on-one. And so I think there is a good person in all that. And
yeah, where's the good person in you, though, Collins? Because we've yet to see it. Not one thing you've done so far has shown that you are a decent human being at all.
So I think that there's grace there and all that. But also you have to own your mistakes and not hide behind them.
Like you're doing right now, blaming everybody else for the mistakes you made, dude?
But anyway, there's that. 17 minutes. I'm gonna have to redo this video.
Oh, you probably should have took your advice, buddy. You probably should have took your advice.
All right, we're gonna redo this video. I'm gonna still post this one. If you want to watch the full version, we can. Peace. Never mind. I didn't redo the video because
he watched this back and was like, oh, this is gold, baby. This is perfect. That should tell you what kind of mindset this guy's in. And he watched this video back and was like, you know what? I think it's good. I think it's good to go. Send it to the presses. How could they not believe me?
I was through there, looked down. I'm like, it's 14 minutes. This is going to be, I don't know. I'm now getting confused what I say in this video or that video. I'm just done. So it's this video. If you watched it, great.
A big nothing burger in both. This guy, by the way, if you're going to cut him some slack for unlisting this video and being like, well, he didn't want attention for it, he reposted it again on another channel that's listed to try to get some, like, clout. So before you try giving him the, well, you unlisted it, so it might not have been meant for our eyes. No, it was. Trust me. And it got posted on Reddit.
I have dark humor. Totally not appropriate given everything that's going on and everything I just talked about and everything during COVID, but
this guy sounds like the biggest insecure dude ever. Second guessing himself on everything.
It's me. So to relive the time that got me through all of it and try to get a smile on some of the OG people's faces, at least involving Scammer Payback, to the last Take a Shot Collins.
Before you take that drink, I suggest you put that down and never touch alcohol again. You blamed half of the stuff you did on alcohol, and how do you finish up your video by taking a fucking shot, dude? Stop drinking. You're clearly an alcoholic. Maybe you should stop drinking. Maybe you wouldn't have ended up in this position in the first place. And he had that drink sitting there, ready to go.
Hope you guys all have a great one.
He was probably drinking throughout this whole thing. This is probably some drunk dude just blabbering about his time in Scammer Payback.
And if you have questions, ask.
Million questions like, are you mentally well? What was it that got you kicked out of the Discord? Were you sending provocative messages to girls? Did you send them your dick? I have so many. Collins, if you see this video, I want to talk to you, bro. I have so many questions. What made you possess you to want to make this video? Who is the real Perogi? What do you have to say about Hina volunteering to be the thirst trap? And why is that Perogi's fault? So many questions, dude. But by all means, drink up.
Salute.
Listen, I know that I'm being incredibly rough on Collins, or aka Orange Hoodie Guy, but when you're gonna make a video trying to tarnish the reputation of a man who does so much for others, you gotta come with more than a couple breadcrumbs. Not to mention breadcrumbs that have zero evidence behind them, zero fact, nobody to back it up. Especially when you're going to admit in that same video that you did all the same shit that you're accusing Perogi of doing. I mean, honestly, I was going to try to be like comedic through that whole thing and try to just kind of like make fun of the whole situation. But like if I was Perogi, right, and I was somebody who was like Perogi's brother or someone who was just like happened to be in Scammer Payback and I was appreciative of all the stuff that Perogi did, this would piss me the hell off. Perogi's out there helping people every day. What are you doing to take a shot, Collins? Taking a shot? Getting drunk? That community accepted you in. That guy gave you a second chance after you got banned to do the right thing and be a productive member of the group. But then you went right back to probably doing the same thing that got you kicked out in the first place. So yeah, I have a million questions for you, dude. Anyway, the only reason I wanted to do this video was because it has to do with that last video, and it seemed like a lot of people really appreciated that video that I did about Hina and breaking down that whole situation. So I wanted to just touch on this and give my 2 cents about it. But if you see this guy, right, don't give him a hard time. Just simply say, I disagree with you and you're wrong, and move on. Because it seems like this guy doesn't have much going for him anyway. We don't need all dogpile on him. Listen, Collins, you know, I don't know you personally. I don't know what made you want to do this video, but I promise you, dude, in the future, like, it's just best to not involve yourself in this kind of stuff. Perogi is like a megastar on YouTube, and well, you're just Orange Hoodie Guy that was in his Discord. And while some people seem to be like backing you up, because by the way, I went into that comment section and asked what exactly are the claims being made here, and I got jumped on by someone else who claimed that they were a mod who said that everybody's too scared to talk about Perogi. But that's because they probably don't have anything to give, no evidence to give. They probably were all kicked out for one thing or another, whether they broke the rules or they got involved in something they shouldn't have gotten involved involved in. I mean, the fact that Perogi has like the small amount of people who have so much negative stuff to say about him when he has such a large fan base should be enough to show you that like the large, vast majority of people have something positive to say about Perogi. And for some reason, it's like 2 or 3 loudmouth people who seem to can't get themselves off camera, who want to try and come forward with this bullshit, are the ones who are like out here bad-mouthing him. And nobody has evidence. If Hina had all the evidence in the world and couldn't make a case for why Perogi was a bad guy. This guy had 0 evidence. What the fuck did he think was gonna happen? Again, I just wanted to say, like, if you see this guy, just realize it's bullshit, right? If you like Scammer Payback, continue to support the channel. If you don't have money to donate to a creator, don't donate money. Or else you might end up like Orange Hoodie Guy, hating on someone because you gave him too much money when you were broke and an alcoholic, and then blaming everybody else around you for ending up where you are, sad and lonely. The only reason this video got as much attention as it did was because someone posted on Reddit, because YouTube drama is like Reddit's favorite thing to do. I can't lie, you know, that's where I saw it, so. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. If you guys like this video and you want to see how I responded to Savannah and her Hina video, click here.